Looking for another one here. They want to wrap it up in style to Flamengo. Oh, it might break here. It does! It was rough. It was scrappy. But they got that third.
Maresca sold this game. Maresca sold this game. He sold this game. Stupid lineup. Stupid lineup. Stupid selection. I'm losing my mind. What am I watching here? Why can't you just play players in their natural position? Why can't you play players in their natural position? It's done. It's over. The game is over. Because a clueless manager, they say the only person stopping this club from moving forward is Maresca. I said it. Gusto has been so poor. So poor. So poor. I don't understand why Gusto is playing for this club this year. Even when I was doing my match preview, I didn't include him in the squad. Why would you play 2 right backs and then you have a bunch of midfielders on the pitch, in the bench? Santos, what does Santos has to do to play? Esugo is on the bench. Santos is on the bench. Lavi is on the bench. Then you decide, let me play Rhys James in midfield. What is the point of playing Gusto? What is this insistent thing of playing Gusto? Now he has decided to move Gusto from right wing. He's put him in midfield. He has moved Gusto from right back and then he has pushed him into midfield. Now Jackson comes into the team and Jackson, as clueless as he always is, comes in, gets a red card. Doesn't even finish 1 minute. He gets a silly red card. What are we playing for? What are we playing for? If you don't want to play in this competition, how about you just tell the fans that you don't want to play in this competition? But how can you, what does Tosin have to do? Why are you benching Tosin? Why are you benching Tosin? Why are you benching Tosin? Why are you playing a right back who has been pathetic the entire season? This guy cannot defend the far post. The far post, everybody knows when you cross the ball to the far post, Gusto's heading ability is non-existent in football. It is non-existent in football. Gusto cannot head the ball to save his life. Then you play him at right back. Why are you playing a right back in midfield, our best right back, instead of playing him at right back and playing a midfield? What does Santos have to do to play football? What is this? Now he's decided to start Noni Madueke. Why was he? Palmer has always been the best player playing as an attacking midfielder. I'm not going to play Palmer as an attacking midfielder. I'm going to play him down the right. This is all on Maresca. It's all on him. And there's nothing like selecting players. You can select players. You can do rotations in the team. If you want to save player minutes, you can do rotations on the pitch and you can still get something. You can rotate the team and play the best players. Noni Madueke last game played 60 minutes. Neto played 90 minutes. And then you decide that I'm not going to play Noni. Why can't you just play your best team for 60 minutes, make them win the game, and then take them out in the second half? What is this? And then Jackson comes in, the same thing that he did against Newcastle. The opponent does not even have the ball. The opponent does not even have the ball. Why are you going for the ball? The opponent doesn't have the ball. Why are you going for the ball? This is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible. Now we are going to have to finish second so that we can proceed on to the other position. And what are we doing? What are we doing? You have Lavi on the team. Why can't you play him? Why can't you save the team for why can't you play the poor team for the other team? This is the toughest opponent in this group, the toughest opponent in this group. Maresca always does this. When we're playing Arsenal, he puts up a silly lineup. Look at Gusto. He cannot even play the ball forward. He gets the ball. He pays the ball fucking backwards. He's receiving the ball. He can't even cross it. He can't even cross the ball. He can't cross the ball. Why must we have to deal with Gusto? He should be on the transfer list. Gusto is not good enough. He's not good enough. He's lost the ball. He's lost the ball. Even if he receives the ball in the best positions, he will still play the ball backwards. He will still play the ball. He is a joke. Maresca is a joke. You don't have to play your best team. If you cannot play your best team, play players in the net. Gusto cannot even dribble past the ball. Whenever he's receiving the ball, the first thing that he does is play the ball backwards. He cannot do anything. He decides to play Palmer. Palmer has been our best attacking midfielder. He sticks him down the right. He tells Palmer, you go receive the ball down the right. Why is this Pep Guardiola overreacting kind of mentality?
Last one for Chelsea of no quality, no direction.
Jackson needs to go. Jackson needs to go. It cannot be your birthday and then you're so clueless like this. It cannot be your birthday and you're so clueless like this. It's your birthday. You don't even last a minute in the game. The team needs you. You can't even last a minute in the game. The team needs you. You come into the team and you're already committing a serious foul. Like, what is Jackson thinking? I don't know why they are trying to play. Why were they not playing? The entire first half, we were just passing the ball, playing around, passing the ball, doing nothing, passing the ball. The midfield is shaky. You don't want to play your best team. You're having a right back playing midfield. If you wanted to have Gusto playing at right back, play a midfielder in midfield. What does Santos have to do to get a chance to play? Esugo is on the bench. What are you giving a chance to play football? Why are you not playing the best players in their best positions? There's no goal that is coming from this game. The game is over. 3-1. The game is done. Done. Finished. And I don't know why Jackson needs to go. Finished. Jackson needs to go. Jackson needs to go. We cannot have to deal with a player. He collects many yellow cards than the goals he has scored in the Premier League. When we needed him the most in the Newcastle game, I'm losing even words for Jackson. Because this is just horrible. How can you come in and then you get sent off after 1 minute? You've just received the ball in less than 1 minute. What kind of foul is that? How do you go even into that crazy foul? And my issue with Maresca is selecting Malo Gusto. That's my issue. That's my issue, because look at the first goal. What happens? The ball is played over to the right back, towards the right far post. Gusto fails to win the aerial duel. What we always see Gusto do. Then he fails to win that aerial duel. Then the ball is squared, and then Flamengo equalize. Look at even the second goal. He still fails to win his aerial duel. Then if you cannot play as a good right back, you cannot play as a good winger, then what are you doing on the team? Why do we want to move forward? Delap, that is the striker that we have signed. So what was the point of getting Champions League football if you are going to go for scrubs? What was the point of having Champions League football if we are going to sign scrubs in attack? We are having Nico Williams extending his contract. We should be jumping to get him.
questionable fall in the penalty area.
Look at Gusto. He's so afraid to get into challenges. He's so afraid even to win the ball. He's so weak. He's so feeble. He doesn't want to go for challenges. He doesn't want to jump. He doesn't want to defend. Now he's looking like he's trying to go up front. He cannot even cross the ball into the box. Maresca sold this game. Honestly speaking, Maresca sold this game. He sold this game. He sold this game. Just play your best players in their best position. Chalobah versus Colwill, I've never seen that centre-back pairing work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. The games we've won, how many games did we win last season towards the running? We won. The games we won, Tosin and Colwill were playing as centre-backs. The game we lost, even the Newcastle game, Chalobah was playing there. So you cannot play him with Colwill because it doesn't work. Unless you're playing Chalobah as a right back. But you're deciding to play Chalobah as a centre back next to Colwill. You're deciding to play Reece James, a right back in midfield. Then you're starting to play Palmer as an out-and-out winger. Palmer is isolated in the game. Palmer is out of the game. He cannot affect the game if he's not free. And even if when he is allowed to be free, Gusto cannot actually make that run forward. True, we didn't have any midfield because now Caicedo has to play as a forward because who is Caicedo playing with in midfield? Who is Caicedo playing in midfield? We have seen time and time again that Reece James cannot play in that attacking, in that inverted fullback midfield. And you have midfielders. Why can't you just play midfielders in midfield? Now he's trying to play, he's bringing on Madueke towards the last minute. This game is solely on Enzo Maresca. He's such a terrible coach. Terrible coach. Gusto can't even cross the ball to beat the first man. He cannot cross the ball to beat the first man. That's how pathetic Gusto is. Why didn't they play like this from the first minute? Why? Why didn't they play like this from the first minute? This game needs to end. And the signs were there. The signs were there. Just a 5 minutes lapse of control. 5 minutes and everything is out. 5 minutes, everything is out. You have a right back who can't defend, and we saw it time and time again during this game. If you get a competent team, you get at this back line. Because Caicedo is being dragged out of position. Reece James cannot play in that midfield. Reece James is not a midfielder. He cannot play there. Lavia comes on. All of a sudden, we are controlling the game. Lavia is on the pitch. Miraculously, now we are controlling the game. Lavia is on the pitch. Miraculously, we are controlling the game. Xavier comes into the team, we control the midfield. Then you have a clown who's a striker who's constantly thinking that he is the next Luis Suarez, steps on the pitch. He's so angry because he did not start the game. It is his birthday and he did not start the game, so he's so angry. So when he's coming into the pitch, he wants to prove a point. And the first thing that he does is give a stupid foul. Jackson is not supposed to play in this club again. Jackson cannot be allowed to play for this club again. It's too much. It's too much. The Newcastle game, this game, whenever we need Jackson, that is when he throws the entire team under the bus. Whenever the team needs Jackson, is the time he throws the entire team outside the bus. Wadege, you are, oh my God, you are disrespecting Trent Alexander-Arnold. At least Trent can actually cross the football. Trent at least can cross the football. Gusto can't do anything. He can't do anything. He can't defend, he can't attack, he can't pass the ball. What can Gusto actually do? We've made Jorginho look like prime Sergio Busquets. The game is over. We've lost the game. Thank you. Thank you, Maresca. Thank you. Thank you for selecting a poor lineup. And thank you for making Flamengo humiliate us. You see, one thing is that Flamengo were always humiliating us throughout the season, talking about how they are going to trash on Chelsea. But we are the ones, we lost this game not because Flamengo were so good. We lost this game because of ourselves. We lost this game because of us. Us. We lost the game. We lost the game. We lost the game. Not that Flamengo was so good. We lost the game. We personally lost the game because we are not good enough. Because look at the lineup because we are taking it as a joke. We're taking it as a preseason game. It's a preseason game to us. It's a game for us to come in and enjoy ourselves, Yeah. We're talking about, because Maresca is saying that, oh, this game is going to wear down the team. We're not going to have enough time for preseason. We're not going to have enough fitness and fatigue when we are going into the new season. It's like you think that Maresca is going to win the league next. He's not going to win the league next season. Why can't you take a trophy seriously and try to win the trophy? Maresca is behaving like he's won the league. He just finished top 4 and won the Conference League, which we were supposed to win in the first place. It's not like winning the Conference League is something so big. We were supposed to win the Conference League. We were the better team by far than any other team in the Conference League. Maresca has an ego like a manager who's won something. You've not won anything. You don't deserve to have an ego because you've won nothing. I've shared the link in the comment section. You can join in and give your remarks. But Maresca needs to stop behaving like a manager who's won something. You've not won anything. And stop behaving like Pep. Yeah, I hate this arrogance that he has. He has this arrogance, and I'm like, he's trying to get that arrogance that Mikel Arteta has. You see that arrogance that Arteta has, that he walks. But at least Arteta can have that arrogance because he has finished second 3 times. You can see that this is a manager who was almost winning the league. This is a manager who finished 4th and won the Conference League. But he's moving around like he's the next Pep Guardiola, making silly decisions, making silly tactics. What kind of lineup is that? Yeah, why we have 2 midfielders, we have 2 competent midfielders on the bench. You're not playing midfielders. Why are you playing Reece James in midfield? We have always known that Reece James, since Reece James got injured, he lost pace. And that's why Reece James cannot play as an overlapping fullback, similar to the way he used to play. He's lost some pace in him. We've noticed that. I've shared the link. I've shared the link for this for you to join. If you want to join, you can join. So I'm saying that Reece James lost his footing after he got injured. And now he's always not so good playing in midfield. So he doesn't have that pace that you need in midfield. And then when you compare it with having a player like Lavia in that midfield. You see, Lavia knows how to control the game. That's why when Lavia came on, all of a sudden we now had the ball. We now could string passes. We now could make something. But we cannot do that when you have Reece James. And we cannot make Caicedo do everything. Caicedo can win the ball. But you can't also make it Caicedo to dictate the tempo of the game. If Caicedo is dictating the tempo of the game, then there's the other player who's playing like a number 8. And Caicedo constantly had to drop in that right back position to defend Gusto, because he knows very well that if a winger is isolated 1v1 with Gusto, he's going to have Gusto for breakfast, because Gusto cannot defend even if his life depended on it. He cannot defend. Malo Gusto cannot defend. If his life depends on it, he cannot defend. Gusto is so weak. Gusto is so feeble. Gusto is so unaware. He cannot defend. We saw it in the Conference League. And immediately he was hooked off in the second half. You saw how the team switched on. You just saw the change in mentality and how the team was on. And probably, in my opinion, we should have considered the first goal of the game. Because if we considered the first goal of the game, we would have won the game. Because now the team would have become more serious. But we scored the first goal, and the first goal was scored because of Flamengo's error. And then we were relaxed. We went into hibernation, just relaxing over there. We don't care what is going to happen. It would have been better to play Rhys James. Rhys James is a right back. Just play him at right back. It's not an easy thing. Rhys James is a right back. Palma is an attacking midfielder. Caicedo is a number 6. Gusto is a bench player. We play him when we have no choice. Once, okay, but twice, it's really exhausting. If we were going to play transitional football, then we should have used both Caicedo and Esugo. Yes. Play Esugo in that midfield with Caicedo if you want still in that midfield. Because in my opinion, I didn't put Rhys James in my starting lineup because I thought he was going probably to rest him. And I was like, okay, you can rest him. He started with Enzo and Caicedo. Good midfield. The backline I had a problem with because why are you playing Gusto? Why is this obsession of playing Gusto? He has played 90 minutes. What has Gusto done? He's not created any chance when he has overlapped. He has not made any successful progressive pass. He has not made any outstanding defending. And there's even a time in the first half, Flamengo just missed the ball because Gusto was already down. The ball came close to Gusto. He was not able to defend it. He was left for dead, and Sanchez had to bail him out. I cannot even blame Sanchez because Sanchez has tried to save us in this game. When players are out of form, they're just out of form. Some players are not good enough. Let's talk about our new striker. What is our new striker doing? He can't hold up the ball. He can only make runs. His first touch is poor. Let me say this. Delap's first touch is poor. Delap's first touch is poor. He's like Bambi on ice. He has that inner Lukaku in him. He's a good striker. He's a young player, but his first touch is poor. He cannot receive the ball and hold the ball and pass the ball well. He cannot. I always have a problem with Jackson, but Jackson's first touch is good. Jackson can actually receive the ball and bring other players into the game when the ball is played to him at fate. But Delap can't do it. Whenever the ball is played towards him, he loses the ball. Delap is not a good player receiving the ball under pressure. He's not a good player. That's not his strength. And I kept on telling some of you that thing, and some of you are like, oh, Tyrone, you're lying. Why are you against Delap? And I was telling you, this is the fact. This is the fact of the matter. The distance in quality between Gusto and Cucurella is like earth and heaven. Gusto, I saw a friend of mine, a friend of ours here tried to say that Gusto and Trent are the same. No, Trent cannot defend, but Trent can attack. You see, if Gusto was giving us something extraordinary in attack, then we can entertain his faults in defense. Alonso used to give us good things in attack. Alonso could score a goal. Alonso could bomb forward and head a goal. He would shoot from outside the box. He would cross the ball so perfectly. And then we were like, okay, Alonso is so good going forward. Maybe if we play a 3 at the back, we can accommodate Alonso's faults. Gusto is weak. He cannot defend. He cannot attack. He cannot pass the ball. Whenever he's receiving the ball, his only option is to pass the ball backwards. Why are you passing the ball backwards? You are the most advanced fullback. Why are you passing the ball backwards? And then Maresca decides to play Palma as a right winger. And some of you were constantly telling me that Palma is a good right winger. And I kept on telling you, Palma is not a right winger. Palma is an attacking midfielder. Play him at the number 10. Allow Palma to move. Allow him to move. And this is where I get so angry with Maresca, because the other time you say that Palma is one of our top players. I want him not to pass the ball backwards. I want him to do that from the start of the game. Then what am I going to do? I'm going to play Palma at right back, at right wing. For this club to reach the next level, Sanchez, Gusto, Madueke, Jackson must be bench players or need to be sold. Let me just say this, honestly speaking, I cannot blame Robert Sanchez. I'm one of the people who criticized Sanchez the most, but I cannot blame Sanchez. I cannot blame Sanchez because Sanchez has helped us even in this game. Like the one goal that he saved, that was a certain goal. That was a top bin goal. He saved it. The other cross that came in, he saved it. Sanchez can only do, a goalkeeper can only do to a certain extent. You need defenders who know how to move. You need defenders who know how to move. Again, I'm sharing the link. If you want to join and have your say, please click the link and join. Click the link and join. But Jackson got us red carded. Jackson is out of his mind. Let me just get a glass of water. Yeah. Jackson, what do I have to say about Jackson? Jackson always has this habit of creating problems for us. Jackson is this player who likes to throw the team under the bus whenever we need him. Whenever the team needs Jackson, he will be the first player to throw the team under the bus. That's what Jackson does. He's so good at that. He's so good at betraying the team. We need to discuss about Cole Palmer. There's nothing we can say about Cole Palmer. If you play Palmer out of position, what do you want Palmer to do? You're putting Palmer to play further away from goal. What do you want Palmer to do? Honestly speaking? You're playing Palmer together with Gusto. The defenders know that Gusto can't do anything. Gusto can't cross. Gusto can't dribble. Gusto's cross can't even beat the first man. Sometimes when I play the Sunday League football as a defender, there are some players who I know let him just have the ball in the wide areas. There's no threat that can come from him because he cannot even attempt a shot on goal. So why must a defender focus on going for Gusto and yet you have Palmer? Just double down on Palmer. The other one can't do anything. And even if he has the ball and tries to move with the ball forward, just scare him. He will pass the ball backwards. That's what Gusto used to do. Whenever a player approached him, he will just look and pass the ball back to Chaloba. So why should I blame Palmer? Because if you play Palmer and Neto, remember the last game that we played Palmer and Neto. A defender already knows that Neto is going to cut in. A defender already knows Palmer is going to cut in. So you cannot double down on Palmer. If you double down on Neto, Palmer is free. If you double down on Palmer, Neto is free. I blame the lineup. We didn't do much in the final third, especially our wingers. We had one winger, our best right winger, and we played him down the left. We had one winger in this game, our best winger, we played him down the left. Our best winger, we played him down the left. And we were making him to cut in with his weaker right foot. And then we decided to play our awful right back and play him down the right. So it beats logic. Yes, how are you, Dave?
Hi, bro. I'm good. This match was very frustrating, brother. Very frustrating. I've seen these mistakes over and over again, and I'm wondering when will Maresca learn? To be honest, I know he's very careful. He likes to be careful. He likes to, integrate players carefully. But in matches like these, you just have to try, especially when you've got good midfielders. You just have to try. You can't just, be too careful and start to, play Rhys James in midfield. Everybody but Maresca knows that Rhys James is not a midfielder. Everybody. Yeah.
No, he's trying to do this Pep thing of overthinking in a big game. I said this, that Flamengo is our toughest opponent in this group. It is the toughest team that we are going to face in this group. It is even better you tinker against LAFC, but you field your strongest team against Flamengo. Because why are you doing that? Honestly speaking, why is he doing that? Why does this manager keep on doing this? We are playing in the Conference League final and he's starting Benoit and Gusto in that backline. And he
Yeah,
was lucky, he was so lucky that Rhys James and Fernandez came on and changed the game. You're playing a final, then you're starting to start mediocre players. And he got away. He was bailed out with Palmer in that final. Because if we lose that final, it's on him.
it would have been a huge shame.
It
To be
will, it
honest,
will,
it, to be honest, I think that I really like Maresca. So I'm like I try to give him a lot of passes. But sometimes I'm like, what are you doing, man? Everybody can see the I know that he's the coach, he can see them in training, he can see them practicing, but you can't keep making frustrating choices. Like when I saw Palmer playing right wing, I was like, what is this guy doing? You know, what is he doing? Why is Noni on the bench? Our best dribbler is still Noni. I don't know why, he decided to put him on the bench. I can understand that he doesn't want to overplay the players, but it's just such a poor tactic today, and I completely blame him, honestly.
but I do have a question. I do have a question. Neto played the last game for 90 minutes.
Yeah,
Noni played for 60 minutes. But Neto played again for 90 minutes today. And then Neto was so good playing as a right winger. Today, let me play him as a left winger.
to be honest, I think Neto's game is very different from Noni, and I know that people may think Noni is underperforming right now. But I think that the system is not really helping Noni. If you look at most of our matches uh, last season, right, you will see that our left winger was really very weak. Sancho is not going to dribble past people. Yes, he's very good. Technically, he's very good. He knows how to use spaces. But the truth is that he needs a fullback to overlap. And if the fullback is not overlapping, Sancho is not going to do a lot. So you will see that the right side of our midfield most of the time is always crowded. So Madueke cannot do much in that kind of situation. It even affects Palmer. I'm looking for our club to sign Gittins and sign this Malik Fofana. Direct dribblers that would cause the field to kind of expand and allow Madueke to actually move.
But I do have a problem because what was the point of getting Champions League football if we are going to behave like this in the transfer window? Because Gittens, as much as people like to talk about Gittens, he's very raw. And if what I have been saying about him in the Bundesliga is who he is, now he's going to go into a tougher league. So he's going to even look worse. Because in my opinion, Gittens is a player who plays like Modric. No, that's one
Yeah,
thing that a lot of fans don't know. He's so raw like Modric.
he
And
is.
we
He
cannot
is. You're
put
right.
and we cannot put our faith on him. We can't have Modric playing as left wing, and then you're talking about that we are going to every other team is strengthening. Arsenal have already signed Zubamendi now. They're looking to go for a striker. We
Yeah,
have signed a striker who was relegated, and you've seen him. I kept on saying that Delap's first touch is so poor. He's like Bambi on ice whenever he's receiving that ball. He's always falling on top of the ball, and everybody
yeah.
saw it. If you've not seen it, then I don't know what you're saying because I know how to read players. I know how to know how players are because I always that's what I do. So I watch a lot of players, and I can know if a player is a baller, if a player is not a good player. And
You're right.
Delap is not a good player when it comes to linking with the ball. I'd rather if we have a striker who we are playing the ball to his feet, I'd rather have Jackson receiving that ball.
You're
If
right.
we are playing
But
the ball towards, if we need a striker who's bringing other players into the game, then Jackson is that striker.
yeah,
He's not good aerially, but when you play the ball to him, when you play the ball to his feet, he knows how to
yeah,
control the ball. He knows how to hold the defender. He knows how to dribble past the defender. He knows how to pass the ball to Palmer, pass the ball to make runners who are making runs in behind. But that's something that Dilap can't do. And
you're
today he
right.
has been, he has been given 60 minutes. I said this in my analysis. I got a lot of stick. A lot of fans were like, "Oh, Tyrone, you're saying this. Oh, Delap is this. Delap is better than Jackson." But see, Jackson. The thing with Jackson is that he's so indisciplined. He's so indisciplined, and this is something that we don't talk about. He had many yellow cards last season, and the goals he scored.
You're right. But you know that I think the only way the lab works is to help Jackson discover something. But I think that Jackson is really good. But always when he's in front of goal, that indecision, that last just to poke the ball into the net is always a problem for Jackson. You know, but the lab just did something the last game, and I'm like, wow, I have not seen Jackson do this. And if Jackson can do this, it can actually be at least move closer to world class. I noticed that when Delap is making runs, he has different selections of runs. Like, look at the run for his assist the last time. I've never ever seen Jackson make that kind of run, to be honest. He could go, if you watch the replay, he did as if he was going to run in the center, in the hole, in the box, and then he came back, and then he turned right a little bit. The defender was like, what is he going to do? And then he went to the right, took the ball, collected the ball, made a nice across. That was an assist for that goal. I've never ever seen I've never seen Jackson do something like that. So I think that Jackson is really close. But the problem with Jackson is that he needs to be a lot more mature in his play, in his selection of run. As a striker, you need to know where to move. You need to, of course, he's better on the ball than the lap, but there are some things that I feel like when we are fully set up, when we can create that space and Palmer can play those one-touch passes from the midfield, we would actually see the lap, because the lap is going to stretch the play. The lap is going to, get into the box when he needs to, and the lap can actually finish when he needs to. Today, the first run that the lap made, look at that run. I know that Jackson can also make it, but
But it was
I
it was a good run. It was a good run. And
yeah,
we
it
even
was a good run.
we're also having Flamengo fans coming to troll us here. And Flamengo have been trolling us since the day they realized that we're in the same group. They
Yeah.
have been trolling us. They kept on saying, "We're going to meet you, Chelsea. We are going to show you how to play." They kept on trolling us.
Okay.
And then we
Another thing.
decided to give them the game. And then we decided, because in my opinion, we didn't lose this game because they were so great that we couldn't cope with them. No, we lost this game
No,
because
no, no, no.
silly
I,
decision making
I
when
think
it
it was
comes to
tactic. It was
the
tactic.
tactics were wrong.
It was just
And
tactic.
why are you changing something that is working? I don't understand this
Exactly.
knowledge. I don't understand.
It's tactic. I think Maresca was so afraid of that Wesley. That Wesley guy was the main threat. Actually, if you watch a lot of their Flamengo, at least the ones they played the last time, that their right back is a problem. And the reason why it's a problem, because the reason why it's a problem is because you see he can both underlap and overlap, and he is their final ball supplier. If you watch his run today, Cucurella had to be on his game. If not, it would be a serious problem. But if I was Maresca, there's no way I'm allowing Cucurella to really invert too much today. I saw Cucurella inverting so much, so deep into the field. We saw this problem last season, right? Where you have big gaps after we have inverted. And because they are still kids, as well, Cucurella is no longer a kid, but because most of these players, like Cole Will, is still, he has still not fully developed his game. There is no way they can cover that big gap. So they have to know exactly when to invert, exactly when to, come back to shape when they are defending on all of that. And that's where Pep is different. See, Pep already knows his game and he drills it into his player right from the onset. So apart from this season, Pep's team know exactly what they're doing. The players know exactly what they're doing per time. I think we have not fully seen that in our team yet. And I think that is also why Maresca's tactics are not always working, because we are working with teams that are not very, very experienced. And you can see the difference. Most of those Flamingo players are old and experienced players. And so they just kind of just ate them up and they were there because they have the experience. But we are
I,
still
I
young.
cannot I cannot even blame something to do with the experience. One thing I can always say is this: which centre back pairing has been our best pairing? Our best pairing, it's always been Tosin and Colwill. They have been our best defenders when they're playing together.
True. Very true.
In my preview, I had placed Chaloba as right back and Kukurela. So if you have Chaloba, Tosin, and Colwell, you have a strong backline. Even
To
if
be
you move
honest,
to
that's great. That would have
when you
been
move,
great.
yeah, because you cannot tell me that Tosin is a 30-year-old who, if he plays one game in 1 week, is going to pull a hand. No, 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 no. And I always don't understand why Maresca is always dropping Tosin. I've never understood, because I have always retained the day I gave up on Chaloba was the day we played Manchester City and we lost 3-1. He was getting spanned by Haaland. He could not even hold off Haaland. Balls were being played to Haaland, and Haaland was wiping the floor with him. Both him and Colwill, they are not strong enough. Yeah, Colwill has bulked up some muscle, but Chaloba is not strong enough. He's not strong enough in that centre back position. He's not
To
as.
be honest,
But do you think that Chaloba is that centre back who you can say that Chelsea can challenge the title with?
you're very right. That strength is not fully there yet. It's
He's
not
not
fully
there.
there yet.
He's
But
not vocal. He's not vocal. But when you see Tosin play, he might be a slower centre back. But what do you see when Tosin is playing? He's always talking. He's always moving.
you're
Whenever the
right.
ball is crossed, he's the centre back who wins the most aerial duels. Whenever we are having a corner against us, he's the one who's always clearing the ball.
You're right.
Again,
You're
we
very
saw in
right.
the
You
in the in the Conference League final when
Yeah.
Maresca decided to alter the backline. He played Gusto. Gusto has been the worst player this season.
Actually, I in fact let them just tell him, because I don't know what to. He doesn't fit. We've tried. Maresca has tried. Gusto does not fit. Our does not fit the philosophy. Does not fit the tactics. He is a fullback. And that's everybody needs to understand that Gusto is a fullback. If he's not fully playing as a fullback, then we can't get the best of Gusto. But I think the real problem with with Tosin is that Tosin is a very good player, and you can see some of the passes he plays. Like sometimes they are long and ridiculous passes. But the problem with Tosin is that when we are scoring, when we are comfortable, he lost concentration. He loses concentration quite a lot. And I'm like, this guy is one of our most experienced defender. If he doesn't lose concentration, then he will certainly be near world class. But also loses concentration a lot. Cohen is very smart, but he's sometimes it's just so easy to push off the ball. You don't get that vibe like, yes, this is Konate or this is Van Dijk. You don't get that vibe from them. So I'm like, I'm hoping that this new centre back we just signed will at least give us that that
We are
vibe of
signing
strength.
we are signing 19-year-olds. The most
Yeah,
senior players are the players who are in the club already. We are never going to sign. I'm hearing people saying that, oh, there's this Fofana guy because you have seen him dribbling. That guy is not coming to do anything. People like to
yeah,
underrate the Premier League. People like to underrate the Premier League. People are talking about Gittens. I'm telling you, Gittens is going to come. He's going to find the Premier League as it is. You're going
you're
to
right.
get so frustrated with him. This
You're
is
right
one thing
about
that I always
Gittins.
tell. You need to sign some experience. You
You're right
already
about
got
Gittins.
top four, because look at Newcastle. Newcastle were the team that finished below us.
they're strengthening. They have a more experienced team than they had last season.
Look at
Manchester City
Liverpool.
have strengthened. Liverpool have strengthened. Arsenal are strengthening. We got
Yeah.
Champions League so we could sign Delap. What is the point? What is the point of getting Champions League so we can go and sign Delap? People are talking that probably we get Champions League so that they can bid for a Victor Osimhen. Now we have to deal with Jackson's tantrums. It is his birthday. Now he's angry that he was not given the game. He's coming into the game with a lot of rage. He's playing with a lot of rage. He's getting dispossessed. What was Jackson doing? That guy hadn't even received the ball. Why is he going high on that guy? Have you seen that foul? What was Jackson
Yeah,
thinking when he was doing that?
to be honest, Jackson was looking down. It was a mistake. It's just that, FIFA football is just really strict. That Jackson foul was a mistake. It was looking down. So there was no way he would have seen, when the guy where his foot was going. So he was just fighting very hard for the ball, and he tends to lose his head. So I agree with you that he can't be our top striker, because to be honest, we can't have such a very a hot-headed striker. I would have preferred it we signed Osimhen, but I am thinking that we don't want to, pay his wages and all of that. But to be honest, if we signed him, then we kind of know what we are getting. We know what we're getting. But I also understand why we don't want to sign Osimhen, and I think that the lab has some of the qualities to actually help Chelsea, but we need to get the right left wing. Look, if we get the right left wing that can at least, dribble and it's a little bit smart in the box, a little bit smart when he gets into the box, like this, you know, can do cutbacks, can strike at goal. I have seen Gittins too, and I think that he's a little overrated. That's why I actually prefer Fofana, because that Fofana guy is actually smart. He dribbles when he needs to, but he finds the shortest path to the goal, and I like that about him. My second choice would have been Udis from Juventus, but the price for Udis would have been crazy. So I can totally understand. But if we get someone like Noni, I see they would need to double, on him. Just like Noni, if you notice, most of when Noni has the ball, you always find two defenders on him. Always. Because no matter how terrible Noni plays, one defender cannot defend Noni. It's not possible. So you always have two defenders on him. So if we have someone that can hold the ball, that can dribble, even like Noni, even if he doesn't have all enough end products, the fact that he can draw defenders would allow Enzo to crash into the box, would allow Palmer to make the pass, and would actually allow the lap to make those runs. If Jackson can learn those runs from the lap, it's game over. Because to be honest, if Jackson could only, adjust his run, make it different, not just every time he's going into the box, to be honest, Jackson would be like in a totally different conversation. Because when you look at Isaac, you look at Haaland, you see what do they have that Jackson doesn't have. The one thing that I feel they have that Jackson doesn't have is intelligence. They have intelligence. If you see Isaac moving without the ball, you like, wow. If you see Haaland moving without the ball, he may not be able to link up well with the play. But when Haaland moves without the ball, he's always in the right position. When Isaac moves without the ball, it's always causing problem for defenders. And Jackson needs to learn that. He also needs to calm down when he needs to shoot, because Jackson will always get into good position, but he can't. I don't know which one is worse between him and what's this Liverpool guy's name? I don't
Darwin
know.
Nunes.
Yeah, Nunes. I don't know which is worse, but they don't seem, they are very good players, but they can't. And I think that the lab brings that. The lab can strike the ball. He doesn't have a good first touch, but he will score when he gets the chance. When he gets a half chance, he will score. And if you watch most of the lab's game, you will see that most of the chances he scored from, he actually created those chances himself. And that's a very, very good. I think when I watched one of your videos analyzing the lap, I think you mentioned it, right? You mentioned it. He creates some of his chances himself. And so when he does that and he makes those runs and actually Palmer can affect the game more, I think we will see a very different Chelsea. But we still need to fix our
but
back.
again, I'm of the same opinion of Noni Madueke. I like the player. I like the player, though I always
Yeah.
find him sometimes having a bit of complacency. Like he has the ball, he's complaining. He loses the ball, he's complaining. I always get that negative
His attitude.
attitude. Yeah, I don't like his
Terrible,
attitude.
terrible attitude. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a terrible attitude on the pitch that I don't like. But he is a good dribbler. He is
He
very
is.
dangerous when he's playing down the right. So I don't understand why we are going to give Noni Madueke to Arsenal. It's not.
We shouldn't do
We cannot
that.
give
Big
him.
mistake.
Yeah, it's a big mistake. We cannot give him to Arsenal,
We
and
cannot do that.
we cannot be selling wingers. We cannot be selling wingers, and we are playing in the Champions League next season. Because one thing we need to know: Neto has played 90 minutes last game. Neto has played 90 minutes this game, and Neto is one of the most injury-prone players. I don't know
Yeah,
what
you're right.
miracle he did when he came to Chelsea, but Neto
You're
is that
right.
guy who gets injured a lot. So you
Yeah.
sell Noni Madueke, you get a left winger, and then now Neto goes gets a hamstring injury, is out for around 5 or 6 games in the Premier League, and now you have to play Palmer down the right. Then you are leaving the midfield bare. Then you have to play now Nkunku in that number 10. You see why I'm saying that we are really making some errors. Why are we not patient with Noni? We have been patient with Jackson. We have
Yeah,
been patient
we
with
we
Jackson.
need to be patient with Noni, to be
We
honest.
need to
I
be
think he
patient
will
with
come
Noni.
good. He will come good. We just
Noni,
need
Noni,
that right side to be solid. That left side. We need that left side to be solid. Once it's
yeah,
solid,
if we have a strong player down the left who's cutting, imagine if we have a player like Jeremy Doku down the left, making that blistering attack with that
yeah,
unpredictability down the left.
you have to double team on Doku. If you don't do that,
He's going to finish
yeah,
your right back. So if you have a Doku down the left, and then you have a Noni down the right, then you have two wingers who are so threatening that the opposition have to commit players towards them. And then that
exactly,
frees up players like Fernandez and Palmer in between the lines to be free to receive the ball, to be free to effect the game. Then you have a striker who's making runs similar to what Dilap is doing. He's constantly making runs, he's constantly moving. Then
exactly.
you have a base of Lavia and Fernandez. If we needed to have a midfield, why didn't he just start Caicedo at right back? Then he starts Lavia and then he pushes Lavia into that midfield together with
Yeah,
Caicedo.
it works. It's worked before, and it works. And you know the funny thing? The funny thing is that what you just said right now, you could see it in this game. Did you see how Neto kept going into the space the right back leaves behind? Imagine if we had a very strong, if we had a very, someone said, have you forgotten how Yaya Toure, well, to be honest, Yaya Toure deserves it because it's one of the, it's one of the top midfielders I've ever seen in my entire life. So he deserves it. He needs to throw a tantrum. If he doesn't get a bad day kick from Man City, he's done a lot for them. So you see Neto actually moving into that space. I imagine if the person who was moving into that space was someone like I know Kudus is not really, it doesn't really play on the left, but someone like Kudus, but that plays on the left. If it was someone like that moving into that space, and then someone like Kudus also moving into the right space too, because it looks like we have Palm on that right hand side that was doing basically nothing today. So imagine we had that, and then we had, even if we played Caicedo at right back, we played Lavia, and we played Fernandez, and we played Fernandez, and we played Palmer in the middle. We would have won today's game because it's not like these guys are too good that we can't beat them.
The minute I saw Gusto on the lineup, I already knew we are finished. The minute I saw two right backs, I already knew we are finished because I was like, "Where is Gusto playing? Where is Gusto playing? I would rather have Caicedo play with Dewsbury Hall in that midfield. Let me just be honest. I'd rather have Caicedo playing. I'd rather have us play with a 4-3-3 with Caicedo, Dewsbury Hall, and Enzo.
At least Israel will tackle. He will tackle. He will
Dewsbury
fight for the
Hall will
ball.
tackle and he will also receive the ball and he's comfortable playing with the ball in midfield.
Yeah,
Then
he
I saw
is.
in the second half, he moved Gusto from right back and then he pushed him towards attacking midfield. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
asking myself, what are you doing?
I
What are you
think that
doing?
Maresca likes Gusto. That's the honest truth. We can't. Since last season, I can see that Maresca likes Gusto. Even if he's not playing so well, he believes that he can, he can get
Give
back
him
to
the Carabao
form and
games. Give him the Carabao games and the FA games. Give him those games.
yeah, we really did that. But I think that Maresca is also learning. I feel very positive about the guy because when I look at when he just came in and how he was playing, you remember last preseason now when we're losing heavily against American teams and he was trying to implement his tactic. But you can see that when we started the season, after losing the game to Man City, he started to change.
But
He started
again,
to play traditional football. He's learning.
but again, it's like he doesn't learn because whenever we are playing our best, whenever we are playing the best teams, he's always overthinking. When we were playing Arsenal this season, when we lost that 1-0, look at the lineup that he picked. You see, with Maresca, is such a weird character that one day you can find that you're playing a very tough team. You're going even away at Manchester City. Then you see he has started Benoit as a centre back. You're asking yourself. And then when you look at
Oh,
the subs, then you're seeing Tosin is on the subs. You're seeing even Fofana is on the subs. You ask yourself, why is this guy playing this guy in such a big game? Then you're looking at it, you're seeing that even Palmer is not in the squad. You're really asking yourself this question. The same thing happened in the Conference League. You're going after a cup. The season is over. What are you playing in that
yeah.
backline? Then he changes. Now he goes in the second half. Then he's now playing. He takes out Benoit. He now goes. He takes out Gusto. He brings in Rhys James. And now the team is playing well because these players know their position. These players know where their strengths are. Rhys James is a right back. If he's not playing as a right back, play him as a right-sided centre back. He's good at that. He's so good playing there. He understands playing there. Palmer is an attacking midfielder. Play him at that midfield position. Allow Palmer the freedom. And Palmer can only be so effective if he has a winger who's ensuring that he's stretching that backline and he's pushing that backline deeper. If you start Neto and Noni today, Neto playing down the right will start wide. He will start high. The fullback will not have to drop deep to come and cover Palmer because if he covers Palmer, then Neto will receive the ball. So he has to stick with Neto. The same happens also down the left. And now Palmer can drop, receive the ball, look to create. And then when you play Palmer and Fernandes, then you have two problems on either side of the pitch. And now you're able to create and dominate the game. But what does Maresca do?
Yeah.
You're trying to play Palmer as a right winger, and then you expect to go. If I'm a defender, I play amateur football here. I'm a defender. Let me ask you, you're a defender, you can see Gusto. I am not afraid about Gusto. His cross can't even beat the first man. He can't even dribble. If you just go to you follow him with the ball, he's going to pass the ball back to Chaloba. So why am I scared about Gusto receiving the ball? I'm like, you can receive the ball.
Yeah,
The cross is poor.
exactly.
The dribbling
In
is
fact,
poor. You can receive the ball. So
they
we were
want
playing with
him
that.
to receive the ball today. You see, Flamengo players actually want him to receive the ball. They
Receive the
don't press
ball
him.
because
They don't press him until he has received the ball. They don't even press him at all until he has received the ball. You can watch the game again later on today. You will see that they will press Cucurella, they will press Caicedo, they will press Palmer, but they leave Gusto until
they
he has
know,
received the ball.
yeah, because they know there's nothing that he can do. They're like,
Yeah,
you receive the ball, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing big that you can do that can actually alter the dynamics of the game. And so once that happens, you're like, okay, he cannot attack. When it comes to defending, he slips on the far post. Look at the first goal. That's why people are saying that I'm so harsh on Gusto. But the first goal is on him. The ball is being crossed. He fails to win his aerial duel. I don't know even why he's jumping. If he can't get to that ball, it's either you allow the opponent to receive the ball, then you close him down. And the same thing even happened. Was it the last game or was it the Conference League game? When the ball again was played down the right, and Gusto tried to jump, and he's short, and his leap is not great, and the ball just goes over his head. And then the
I think it
opponent
was Conference
receives
League.
the ball. Yeah,
Yeah.
the opponent
Conference
receives the
League.
ball. Then the ball is received by the opponent. Instead of him actually going to close down the opponent, he ball watches. Then the opponent crosses the ball to the far post. And then you're like, the team is playing a high defensive line. Then you're playing the opponent onside. Then you're failing to win your aerial duel. Then you're allowing that ball to be crossed down the far post. And I was like, I do understand why Cucurella did not follow his man, because again, you've noticed that Chelsea have been playing a high line. They are always trying to catch players offside. So because he's trying to maintain the offside trap, which Gusto has broken, there's nothing that he can do. The player just
Yeah.
has an easy tapping. When you watch the first goal is where you see the fault of Gusto. And even in the first half, we were constant. You even started to see Caicedo moving down the right. Caicedo is a midfielder, but he's now having to shift towards the right. Whenever Gusto
Yeah.
is getting dribble pass, you're seeing Caicedo is the one who's going to bail him out. Now Caicedo is playing as a midfielder and as a right back. Then you can clearly see that this is not a player who's good enough. He is not good enough.
He's definitely not good enough. And I also think that Maresca he sometimes his decision is crazy, because I think he doesn't want to mess with the balance of the squad. So he's most of the time he's starting to slow integration. But I think he can see everything that is happening. And I don't expect Gusto to play a lot in the Premier League next season. I don't think Maresca will play him a lot next season. And there are a lot of players too who, because the competition will be very high in the midfield now, we have very strong players. I mean, I can't wait for next season, because I think we have one of the best midfields right now. But if we can sort out our back and our left side in it, we can actually pose a threat. And I think Maresca, as you can see, when during the season, when Noni started to drop form, what did Maresca do? Dropped him and played Neto. When Sancho started to drop form, what did Maresca do? Dropped him, played. So I see that Maresca may be a little bit slow, but he does make changes quick enough. So we can take that positive from today's match. He was thinking a lot today. You could see him on the touchline, thinking. He knows that he messed it up.
But again, you are a manager and you know that, because in my opinion, I was like, I heard him saying that he's going to rotate heavily. And I'm asking yourself, do you know which team you're playing against? This Brazil
Yeah,
no football. This is not
they know football. I mean,
America. Yeah, you cannot play that. I've always said
yeah,
that Flamengo is the best team, is our closest competitor in the league. And we don't respect them. In this table, they are the closest competitor. And I think they're
actually,
going to
we
finish.
respect them, but we respected them far too much. That lineup was to stop Flamengo, but it didn't allow us to play our game. You would see that we were very defensive at the beginning.
Attack,
That lineup was to stop Flamengo.
attack is the best form of defense. Attack is the best form of defense.
You're right. It is.
If
It is.
if we have the ball, if we can move the ball well, if we can pass the ball well, if we are creating threats well, we will not be scared about what they are going to do. They are the ones who are going to be scared about what we are going to do. They are going to
Yes,
have fun
exactly.
at their game. But I don't understand. I also saw this Pep doing this when he is playing in the Champions League. He's constantly looking to alter his tactics. I'm like, no, play your best team, play your best team, play your best tactics. Leave it to you. Give your best team so that people cannot say that Maresca did this. Maresca, no, just play this. James at right back, Tosin, Colwill, Cucurella, play Gusto, play Caicedo and Enzo, play Noni, play Neto, play Palma, the number 10. Then you can decide to play Dilap. And then now you allow it. Then when the fans come out, they will like, no, Maresca selected a good team. Because everybody would have
Yeah.
selected that team. So everybody will be like, Maresca selected the good team. You cannot blame it on the manager. It is the players. Now you can say, okay, Jackson did this, okay, Rhys James did this, okay, Palmer did. You can now blame the players, but just play them in their best position. That is one thing that I have to give to Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti will never play players out of position. He will
No,
never.
Carlo Ancelotti game is very simple. He plays the best players to win. If they win, they win. If they don't win, okay, no
Yeah,
problems. His
yeah,
game is very simple, and that's why
and
he has lasted that long.
yeah, and Carlo Ancelotti will give you your best position. You are a number 9. Okay, you play in the number 9. You're a left winger. Play in the left wing. You're a right back. Play in the right back. How do you like to play in the right back? Do you like to invert? Do you like to overlap? I like to overlap. You overlap. That's what
Yeah,
Carlo Ancelotti will do. I've never seen Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti, you just know what you. If that player is out of the team, you're going to get a similar player like him and play him there. Because at the end of the day, tactics do not win you the game. It is the players who win you the game. You can have the best tactics, but if you lack the players, you're not going to win that game. So you find
you're
this
right.
manager is always preferring to have the best players. Just play them in their natural position. Palmer, you're an attacking midfielder, playing attacking midfield.
True,
I'd rather
true,
see
true.
we are playing Gusto because we don't have any option. But again, even if we cannot, even if Rhys James is out injured, Chaloba is there. He can play right back based on how we
To
play.
be honest,
Even if
I was thinking Chaloba would play right back. I didn't think it was a bad idea for Chaloba to play right back today because it would have provided at least some strength. Even though he could not move, he can't move forward so much. But at least he would have provided something that Gusto could not provide, to be honest.
Carlo Ancelotti, did Carlo Ancelotti play Victor Moses as a right back? Oh, that was Antonio Conte. Antonio Conte used to play Victor
No,
Moses
no,
as
that
a
that
right,
is that is Antonio Conte.
but he played him as a right wing back, not a right back, and he was good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was very good as a right wing back. I remember that time. It
He
was
was very
very
good.
good.
We won the league with him playing in that position. You see, I was saying that if Gusto was a defensive liability and he was contributing offensively, similar to what Alonso was so slow running back. Sometimes he was beaten even while defending, but with Alonso going forward, Alonso is doing something. He's so
Yeah.
slow, but when he's in the final third, you don't know. You might even have the ball, and Alonso is the one making the run to the far. He's
Yeah,
heading the ball in.
his positioning is so good. It's not about this. His positioning was very good. Alonso. I know we all think he's slow, but his positioning is so good. So good. Do you see
We
how many
even made
goals he scored?
we made Jorginho look like prime Jorginho, the one who won Chelsea the Champions League. He had Palmer on strings. I was shocked.
Jorginho is good. Has always been good, but I don't know why. Because Caicedo was able to outplay Jorginho today. But yeah, John is right. I'm just gonna blame Maresca. I just hope that Palmer is not too angry today because I just saw him start on the bench and just put his hands on his head like this. You could see it all over him, like he was so pained with the match today. And Maresca knows, but I'm hoping that Maresca can actually make the necessary adjustment because he's a good coach. He just needs time.
He's a good coach, but he needs to stop. He
Yeah, he needs to
needs
stop making
to
some
he needs to
yeah
stop
some
being Pep.
crazy
Please stop making those silly decisions that Pep makes. Pep can
yeah.
always fall back on his record. You see, when Pep makes those decisions, I've won 5 Premier League titles. 6. I've won 6. Or I've won 2 Champions League. You can always fall back on the trophies. So
Yeah,
Pep can make a silly decision, and you're like, okay, he has lost the game, but he has a record to follow. You don't have a record. You're building your record. It was so sad. It was so sad
you're
to
right.
see the manager making us to suffer like this in this game. So it was so terrible. So
It,
mad.
it was. But let's take positives from it. We are not completely out of the game yet because I think we can come second in our table. I think so.
Yeah,
It could be
yeah,
for
yeah.
yeah, you're so right. Maresca is sometimes very scared. I've noticed it, especially when look at our game against Newcastle. Look at how we set up. Maresca was scared in that game, and you can see how he set up, and you can see how Newcastle just rolled us over.
Why
Sometimes
is this?
Maresca he plays scared. He's playing like he's really scared. I've noticed it.
Why is he scared? Why is he scared?
I don't know, but he's like he wants to have, he wants to try to control the the match because he doesn't want to let go. If he lets go the players, he's afraid that we're gonna lose. But look, we still look, we still lost today. He's playing scared. Today's tactic, I would say that he only set up today like that because he's scared. He knows that Rich James can win tackles, he's strong, but Rich James is not very mobile anymore. He knows that Gusto can add a little bit defensively, not much. And so he knows that Kopama can actually, maybe defend a bit, but not much. Kopama has not been defending for a long time now. So he's scared, and that's why he played like that today.
And I need to say something about the coach, the opposition coach, Luis. He was a former Chelsea player.
Our left
He was
back.
relaxed. He was relaxed. Yeah, he was relaxed. He was calm. I always say that football management is that, there's this culture that has come out about football management, about things to do with probably Pep. Then a lot of coaches have tried to look at football as such a complex thing. Football as more of chess. You need to have this player here. You need to move this player here and here and here. Guardiola has made football to look. A lot of managers are looking at Pep. They're looking at Pep and they're seeing Pep is the epitome of success. If you want to win, you have to play like Pep. There are a lot of managers are abandoning the basic elements of football. They're trying to create science and a thesis and an entire university course on football, and football is just a simple game. If you play football, you do understand it's a simple game. It's not a difficult game.
Yeah.
It's not a rocket science. It's not like you're doing engineering. But a lot of these managers are trying to play football like it's engineering. You see, this manager just played his best team. He knew that Chelsea are a better team than him, but he said, okay, let me just play my best team. I play a 4-2-3-1. Let me play them the way I play them. Then leave the players to win you the game.
You're right.
That's the same
He
thing
set
that play. Yes?
he set up a mid block. It's
He set up a
always
mid.
worked against Maresca all the time. I've not seen a single time that the mid block has not worked against Maresca's tactics. Yeah, he played a very simple game today. Very
Yeah.
simple game. Set up a mid block. His wingers, his right backs, his just play the game, and
You
he
just
won.
play your. Don't try to overcomplicate football. Don't try this thing. You're playing from the back. If your goalkeeper is under, you go long. Just go long. There's nothing about going. Just play a number nine where he's supposed to play number nine. Don't play this false nine sense. Play a right winger in his right position. Play a left winger in his left position. Play a number six in his best position. Play a number eight. If you want to have a box midfield, just play four midfielders. Select four midfielders in your lineup. You
You're
can
right.
start Caicedo at right back. Then put him in midfield if that is what you want. Then you have a natural midfielder in midfield. Then having a right back who cannot play the ball. Gusto cannot play the ball. He's so poor in an inverted position. He's so poor in an overlapping position. He's so poor as a right-sided centre back. Just
I
play
think
your
Gusto
best
will not
team.
play a lot next season. Don't expect to see Gusto a lot next season in
He
Premier League or
finished.
Champions League. I think everybody can see it now, including Maresca. Unless they sell him. I heard Bayern wanted to buy him. They should buy him, please. I won't miss him. I enjoyed Gusto during Pochettino's last season, but honestly, after that season, I've not seen much of Gusto. Yeah,
You can, and you can now see that we don't need to create an entire thesis on football. Just
you're right.
enjoy football. Football is to be enjoyed. It's to be
You're
enjoyed.
right.
That's why this robotic system has even taken away some output from Palma. Palma was a destroyer under Pochettino. He was a destroyer under Pochettino. Maresca came in, these tactics, this rigid system. You can see Palma can score. Even it's nowadays rare to see Palma scoring. We were so used to Palma scoring. It was like every
Yeah,
game Palma is scoring a goal. Now we can even go 5 games and Palma is not scoring a single goal. Like, what is happening?
yeah, because it's so deep in our box. You know,
Yes. Yeah.
he's so deep. You would think he's playing where Caicedo is supposed to be playing. You will find Palmer that deep. And sometimes I look at the game, I'm like, why is Palmer coming in so deep? You know?
But did you understand that Palma is coming deep because there's also a midfielder who's not progressing the ball forward? Because when you play Gusto down that position, he's not progressing the ball forward. He can only play the ball to the winger, then play the ball back. But if you have a player like Lavia, when just watch, when Lavia is playing with Caicedo deeper, you don't see Palma coming deep. Because he knows that when Lavia has the ball, Lavia is going to find him with that pass. Lavia is going to get him in between the lines with that pass.
You're right. Lavia is
You
good, ridiculously good, honestly.
Lavia is good, and you saw when he came on, we are 10 men and we are dominating the ball. Imagine if he started in that game. Imagine if even Maresca said that Caicedo starts at right back, then he inverts and plays with Lavia. We will have dominated this game.
I don't know why we are not buying. We actually have, Ugochukwu. Ugochukwu plays a little bit like Lavia. It's not as good as Lavia, but he's a little press resistant. And I see that if he fine tunes his pass a little bit, he has a little bit of Lavia inside of him. I don't know why we are not bringing him back or buying someone who can, because I don't see any other player right now that plays that gives Chelsea what Lavia is giving us. The right balance of defense and that attack. Not I wouldn't say attack, I would say the ability to control games. I don't see anybody giving it to us. And we can't play Fernandez. We've tried it. It didn't work. We can't play Fernandez in that role. It didn't work. So I don't know why Chelsea is not going for uh someone who can give us that, because Lavia is injury prone. We all know that. I'm not praying for him to have injury, but let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. We cannot play Lavia every game. I don't know why we're not going for someone who can play like that.
Just I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
really know what to say. I
Yeah.
don't really know what
Like
to say.
this player that Man City got from what's his name? That guy is good. He's
The
good.
midfielder. The midfielder.
Yeah, he's good.
Now,
That guy.
now imagine he's going to play with Rodri.
Yeah, that guy is good. I wish we could get that kind of player, but Chelsea will not. Chelsea will say it's not is older than 23.
I'm just saying
Yeah,
that he's going to play with Rodri. You
yeah,
can see that Guardiola is now trying to phase out Bernardo Silva because he has realized that Bernardo Silva has lost some legs. And
Gundogan has lost legs too.
yeah, and Gundogan also. So we are
Yeah,
the ones who are here still doing projects.
yeah.
We
Let's
are
hope it
Bob,
turns out well.
we are
Let's hope it
selling
turns out
wingers.
well.
We are selling wingers. We are talking about selling Noni Madueke.
No,
And
no,
we don't
no.
have
Big
wingers.
mistake.
And we don't have
I'm sure they
wingers.
won't do that. I'm sure they won't do that. They are not
Our record
crazy.
our record signing winger is suspended.
Ah, it's. I think that one is just bad luck. To be honest, it's just bad luck.
Yeah,
It's just
and
bad luck.
what is the point of not, and this competition is a competition to accumulate funds. And that's why I was seeing some people trying to go after Sanchez. I'm like, Sanchez really helped us in this game. It's just like a lot of people don't know. Sanchez saved some goals that were sure goals.
Sanchez is not going to have a lot of fans. Not now, not ever.
Yeah, because of the mistakes that he made. But when we
Ye-
look at the goals we conceded, when you just look at the goals we conceded, can you blame Sanchez for those goals?
no, I can't blame Sanchez for those goals. To be honest, I
The
can't blame
second,
Sanchez. But every time Sanchez is in goal, I always have this feeling that we are going to concede.
but he was good. He was good even towards the latter stages of the season. I always said since he shaved his head, since the Man City 3-1 defeat, it has been a different Sanchez. It has been a different Sanchez.
Yeah, talking about set pieces. To be honest, I think we have to be realistic. We can't do set pieces like Brentford. Those Brentford players, I think their average height is like maybe 6 point something. And I mean, we have a style for set pieces, and you will see that we used that style in which game did we use it against Nottingham Forest. Do you remember the goal we scored? The first set piece was played. I think it was played. It was played short, not too short, but short enough. And then the second, uh, the second, the second one was played inside the box, but at that particular time, the Nottingham Forest players were not expecting us to play like that. I think that was a very good strategy. That set piece against Nottingham Forest was a very good strategy. You remember was it the goal we scored against Nottingham Forest, right? It was very good. I think that's the only kind of set piece we can play because our players, to be honest, they are not tall. So our midfielders are just about maybe between 5'9" and uh, 6, something. And then our forwards are not that tall. Our defender, Cole is just 6'2". So we can't do set piece like Brentford or like Arsenal or like Liverpool. I think that's the issue we have. But I don't know if we can correct this, but I don't think I don't think we are doing too poorly at set pieces. It's just that we can't do it you know, like the other teams.
Yeah. Anyway, Dave, I think my time has been run down.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun having this conversation with you
Yeah. I've seen your
and the
private message.
family.
I'll just communicate with you.
All right. Okay, brother. Take
Okay,
care.
okay.
And
Thank you.
I'm calling
Yeah,
from Vietnam. Have fun.
yeah. I actually saw that. I saw the plus 84.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
See you in the next video.
See you, brother. Take care.
Okay. So yeah, that has been our live stream for today, and yeah, that's all I have to say. I was really mad, really mad today about the game. So thanks very much for joining us and sticking with us till the end of the live stream. See you in our next video.